Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking something incredibly fascinating and, honestly, highly technical. We're looking at part one of the Modern AI Storage, an architectural guide. It's a massive 15-part tutorial put together by Virtualization Options LLC, a really sharp technology research and advisory group out of Colorado. Now, for today's explainer, we're zeroing in entirely on Chapter 1. Because this chapter, it completely sets the stage for understanding how massive AI workloads are forcing us to literally tear up the rulebook and rethink the modern data center from scratch.
So let me hit you with a really expensive, really high-stakes question. Why on earth are your $30,000 AI accelerators just sitting idle? Seriously, it's a massive operational nightmare. You're spending millions of dollars on these state-of-the-art GPU clusters, expecting exascale magic, right? But instead, your shiny new chips are basically stuck in traffic, just twiddling their thumbs. And as we'll see from the research today, the culprit is almost never your software or your model. It's your storage.
Now that we've pinpointed the pain, here's our roadmap for this explainer to prove we actually have the framework to fix it. First, we're hitting the AI storage mandate. Second, hitting the storage wall. Third, the GPU efficiency KPI. And finally, we'll wrap up with data availability boundaries. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1. The AI Storage Mandate. Rewriting data center rules. The absolute massive scale of AI workloads today, think large language models, multimodal foundation models, has completely obliterated the old rules of enterprise storage. We're talking about feeding petabytes of training data across thousands of GPUs all at the exact same time.
You know, for decades, storage architects were obsessed with transactional throughput, random IOPS, and basically just getting the best bang for their buck on capacity. But honestly, that legacy mindset is completely dead in the AI era. Today, AI storage demands sustained sequential bandwidth at a massive scale, ultra-low latency, and absolutely deterministic data delivery. You basically need a system that keeps those hungry GPU clusters continuously fed without a single hiccup. It's an entirely different beast of an engineering challenge.
So the guide cleanly lays out the four non-negotiable pillars of this new mandate. First, sustained bandwidth. AI needs continuous, massive sequential reads, not just quick bursts of speed. Second, checkpoint scale. This is huge, guys. A single training run for a frontier model could literally dump hundreds of terabytes in checkpoint snapshots alone, so you absolutely need dedicated write pipelines. Third is GPU saturation, because like we said, an idle GPU is literally just burning cache. And finally, data governance. Things like data lineage and versioning aren't just afterthoughts anymore, they're front and center storage requirements.
Moving right along to Section 2, hitting the storage wall, the defining challenge. If you actually want to see a return on those massive GPU investments, you have to face the ultimate villain of this story. The industry calls it the storage wall.
Look at the last 10 years. GPU compute power has skyrocketed by unbelievable orders of magnitude. But storage bandwidth? It's been dragging its feet, creating this brutal I/O bottleneck. So you end up in this really precarious spot where your ultra-fast compute engines are literally starving for data, just because the pipes feeding them are way too skinny.
And when you actually hit this wall, it is not pretty. You'll see your GPU utilization plummet below 50% during I/O-heavy phases. You'll get these weird, irregular training step times that spike out of nowhere when your prefetch buffers drain, and your storage controller queue depths will be maxed out completely. But you know what the craziest part is? These symptoms are constantly misdiagnosed. Data scientists will be tearing their hair out thinking they wrote bad model code, when in reality, the whole thing is just a fundamental infrastructure failure down at the storage layer.
Which brings us to Section 3, the GPU efficiency KPI, the economic reality. Let's pivot away from the pure tech for a second and talk real dollars and cents. Because in the AI world, GPU efficiency, which is just the time spent actually computing versus the time spent waiting, has to be your absolute top metric.
30%. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the typical GPU idle time penalty in a bad AI storage environment. 30%. Because they're starving for data, these incredibly expensive chips spend nearly a third of their time generating literally zero value. They're just sitting there, waiting for the next batch of data to show up. A traditional storage array might brag about having 99% capacity efficiency, but if it's causing your GPUs to idle for a third of the day, it is actively destroying the ROI on your AI investment.
And to avoid that penalty, the sheer scale you need is mind-boggling. Try 7 terabytes per second. Just to give you some context, one single 8 GPU node running H100s needs an aggregate memory bandwidth of over 7 terabytes a second. That's astronomical. Even the absolute fastest, most top-of-the-line enterprise all-flash arrays on the market today can only push a tiny fraction of that to a single server.
Which brings us to the hard floor, 50%. Listen, if your GPU utilization dips below 50%, you are in rip-and-replace territory. A complete storage redesign is mandatory at that point. You can't software patch your way out of it. You're effectively throwing half of your hardware budget in the trash because your storage just can't keep up with your compute.
All right, that leads us perfectly into the climax of our architectural guide, Section 4, Data Availability Boundaries, a conceptual framework. To actually stop this data starvation, we have to understand the specific physical and conceptual layers where our data lives.
And this brilliantly illustrates the solution, the data availability boundary. Think of it like a conceptual map of memory and storage. It starts dead center at the GPU high bandwidth memory, and then it radiates outward, layer by layer, all the way to your massive object and tape storage. Getting this boundary right, knowing exactly where your data lives and how fast it can travel, is literally the foundational act of modern AI storage architecture.
I like to picture the whole system as a super fast worker standing right next to a conveyor belt. Step 1 is the GPU high bandwidth memory, or HBM. These are the worker's hands. It runs at blistering nanosecond speeds but has a pretty strict limit, usually around 80 gigs per GPU, and it holds the active model weights. Step 2 is the host DRAM. Operating in microseconds with a 1 to 4 terabyte buffer, this is basically the staging area where data sits before it jumps over the PCIe or NVLink connection. And finally, Step 3 is your network storage. This runs in milliseconds but gives you petabyte scale capacity. It's the start of the conveyor belt. As an architect, your job is to design every single layer so that data hits that inner boundary faster than your worker could ever possibly consume it.
Actually, there's a quote from Chapter 1 of the guide that totally nails this. It says, "Every architectural decision downstream flows from recognizing this fundamental imbalance between compute capability and data delivery speed." Breaking through that storage wall isn't a one-and-done fix. It takes a multi-layered approach. You need ultra-fast NVMe storage right next to the compute. You need incredibly smart prefetching to mask the latency. And you have to build network fabrics that can handle massive throughput without choking.
So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it boils down to this absolutely crucial question. Is your infrastructure currently measuring traditional IOPS, or are you measuring true GPU efficiency? I really want to leave you with that provocative thought. It might just be time to audit your own data center metrics and figure out if your legacy storage is quietly suffocating your AI potential. Definitely dig into those numbers, and I really hope you join us for the next part of this tutorial, where we'll get even deeper into these architectural strategies. Thanks so much for hanging out with us for this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.